I have a favor to ask of you. If you could just double check that you're subscribed to this and the main channel, as well as notifications are turned on, I would be eternally grateful. Over the last 5 months, I've had more and more people tell me that they no longer see my videos pop up. So I don't know what's going on there, but having the notifications turned on should help that. Anyways, on to the story. Accidentally Adopted, Part 2, Chapter 4. Dear Diary, this is all so strange. I don't know what to do or how to feel. Sneaky is sorry, but none of this is his fault. Anyway, Sneaky just kept a tool handle in his room. I'll find out why tomorrow. And Yoy put a bunch of his plushies in his bed. Another tomorrow question. And then Mom said everything was completely normal. As normal as Sneaky gets, anyway. Well, maybe that's not fair because that is normal for what he is. He just played with Yoy all morning. And for once, Yoy didn't get all rowdy with how fun Sneaky is, but maybe they were being serious and not playing. Anyway, while that was happening, I was talking with Mrs. Howitz about my stars. She was from Imladrum, but she gets us. It would be strange if she didn't after sailing on our ships for 40 years. Anyway, she agrees with Daddy that anger and compassion are fine stars to sail by. Especially since I want to be the person to help so that as many fewer animals get hurt. Since it was a vet psych evaluation, she suggested that I think about studying animal psychology and psychology. It would make sense to study both. If pets need help, then it's the pet's family might need help too. I don't know. After what happened, maybe not. Maybe just psychology. I have a lot of remedial studying to do if I want to be properly responsible, so I'll think about it later. At dinner, Sneaky tapped on the table, and then Yoif said that Sneaky needed some paper, pencils, and a straight edge for my stuff, and that it was very important. I was going to ask why, but Sneaky was already walking to my room. He looked like he was, I don't know, trying to be brave. What he did didn't seem very scary to me. I got him what Yoif asked for, and Yoif gave him a piece of string. Then he did geometry, right on the kitchen table. My alleged weird lemur did rule and compass geometry with a piece of string and a pencil. It would have come out better if he used a real compass, but I think he was proving a point. Yoif got excited and asked Sneaky to show him how to make a regular hexagon. Well, he just pointed to it and asked,
"Can I do that too?"
Well, it looked a lot like Sneaky signed yes, but he didn't have a lower right hand, so even though it's one-handed sign anyway, it looked weird. While Yoif was busy trying to replicate what Sneaky did, Daddy started asking questions. Sneaky is stranded. He doesn't know how to get back home. And he doesn't know where to start looking for clues on how he even got here. He also says that he loves it here, and he hopes we will still want him around. The thing that he said last was, well, I'm broken on the inside. Things happened, and I did things, and they still hurt. I'm trying not to be broken inside for you. I do not know how to help with this. Daddy stays on top of his sign literacy, 'cause you never know when you might need it as a captain. But I kinda got lazy with it since nobody on the ship signs. I have a lot of studying to do. Journal entry 12, date 1/2/4, name Greg George. Okay, so I guess the dice are out the cup. Time to see how they fall. I had another nightmare, except it was pretty mild. Just mowing down some grub infected on Miami planet. That drop went sideways on me and every other ASDSS on that mission. Really, I'm just glad that I wasn't on the boat when everything went to crap. I told Linus his friends helped. And apparently 12 is the magic number. God damn, I'm such a softie. Instead of playing, Linus and I worked on my answers. Linus, buddy, for this I'm going to teach you how to operate the ship and make it your domain. Well, if you can pick up on my training, you can operate anywhere in close quarters. Not my preferred method, but ships don't exactly have elevated positions to scan the terrain from. Or I'll just show him how to ambush and escape with these little dart guns. This is Greg and Linus' ship now, feckos. Would be funny. Anyway, at dinner, I made my move right there, in that silly cartoon character-adorned toddler chair at the Xenos dinner table. I did compass and rule geometry with a piece of string and a reasonably straight hunk of plastic. I would have asked for a ruler and a compass, but I was making a point by improvising my tools. Look, Mom, I'm doing math, but seriously, Mom, look! This crap is conceptual reasoning in a representative space with improvised tools, not a clever chimp imitating crap. Please, Mom, please. Then the questions came. Pops took the lead and wanted to know if I wanted to get home. I tried to explain that I had no idea how to get home and said I hoped they still want me around. It was a blur after that. I think Mom is angry with me. I'm sorry. Log 6,000.9.06. Personal. Captain Yormdraw. Poor Sneaky. You poor boy. I'm sorry. Looking back, it's glaringly obvious, and I curse myself for stupidity, complacency, and inattentiveness. Privately, I don't want the kids to follow that kind of example, especially since they seemed to realize it days ago. Trendy will say that she had no idea, but she was treating Sneaky more like a child than an animal, even a very smart animal. It had been shaping up to be a quiet day, which should have been the clue. Quiet children are plotting children. We let them plot all day, since Trandy wanted to talk over how she thinks she sees her course with somebody who isn't her father, and it looked like Yorvdraw was having a grand time with Sneaky. I decided to have lunch in the galley. Well, the crew was disappointed I didn't bring Sneaky along. I told him that his feelings are more important, and he's not there just to amuse them. Many of my crew retorted that amusement will happen whether he's there for it or not, because he's just that adorable. True, but I don't know how he'll react to the realization. The Nova went off at dinner. Sneaky suddenly tapped out a pattern on the table, which was for sure a signal prearranged because, without hesitation, Yorvdraw turned to Trandy and said,
Sneaky needs something straight, a pencil and a paper. It's very important to him, he said so.
Now, I had my suspicions, and I was planning on bringing them up at the very evening, but I admit that I was a little surprised that the subject was pulled right out from under me. The kids went to get their supplies, and Trevdy tried to control his shock. I offered a comforting hand. They returned, and Sneaky very deliberately did something we knew he had no chance to observe or imitate. He used improvised tools to perform rule and compass geometry with increasing complexity. When he looked up from his work, it was with pleading eyes. Those strikingly pale blue, ghostly eyes glistened with held-back tears. Yorvdraw was immediately excited by the new skill and pointed to the regular hexagon and asked,
Can I do that too?
To which Sneaky signed his assent. Sign with only 2 hands. I was hopeful that we could still talk. Sneaky, I began with no small trepidation, do you want to go home? He began to sign, and as long as I read a quick downward flash of the hand as the lower hand, it was decipherable. I'm glad I kept up with my sign, otherwise we'd depend on Yorvdraw for translation. And though he's a smart boy, they would have probably frustrated our strange guess. I do not know how to get home, and I do not know how I got here. I hope you still want me around, and thank you for saving me.
Are you upset with how he treated you?
No. Some things are mistakes, others are better than I'm used to.
Do you like living with us?
Yes. I love living here. It's I do not know word. Feels good inside.
Okay. Should we change anything?
Access to door and gymnasium are good. Lift weights to keep muscle good. Room with weights?
I can do that. You don't want ship access?
Ship people don't like me people running around without looking. They say we make ships break by just being there.
That sounds cruel.
No, it's an old joke. About different jobs. Don't know very much about ships. Don't need to fight on a ship against you. No reason to go out without dad or sister.
I see. What was your job?
Don't know how to tell. Ask again when I know more words.
Is there anything we can help you with?
What he signed was disturbing. That and the fact that his hands were trembling and the movements were jerky. I am broken in the inside. Things happened and I did things. And they still hurt. I am trying not to be broken inside for you. I do not know how to help with this. That's when Travty had to get up and go to our room. I suggested that it might be good to go to bed and talk more tomorrow, and got the kids put to bed. Yorvdraw took a little doing since he wanted to be like Tran and Daddy and put down the important stuff. After that, I went to my room a little nervously, since I knew Travty was upset.
Hart, do you want to talk about it? No. I'll talk anyway, since I should. I dishonored a guest to his face repeatedly, my heart, she said as she broke down into weeping sobs. I pulled her into my embrace. It'll be well, my love. He did not take offense, so it is well. That does not lessen my shame. The boy needs help, And what did I do? I called him only with very clever lemur to his face. Worst, to yoive in front of him like he couldn't understand. My heart, you can speak now. You can ask for forgiveness and ask to make amends. This is only a mistake, not a dishonor. Amends. Well, I think I have an idea. Thank you, Heart. I hope Trandy doesn't blame herself for our mistake. She is past halfway. Some of the blame is hers to shoulder if she feels that way, and we cannot correct her. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. Dear Loggery, today was important. Sneaky showed that he is not a pet. He is my friend. I tried to tell Mommy and Daddy before, but they thought I was wrong. I was right, and they were wrong. Daddy listened more before Sneaky proved it. Sneaky looked scared. He didn't want to talk after he answered Daddy. He just went right to bed. I hope he can stay. Sneaky is my friend, and I love him. End of chapter.
I would just like to thank the T5 supporters: Bushmaster117, Casper Arnholtz, Dragzoon W.R.E, Elijah Silvercross, Gray, Jon Carrington, and Sevaren Serberous. Thank you very much.